Hi, I'm Kristen from thehomemakersresource.com, and today we're going to talk about how you can save money on buying chicken at the grocery store.
If you're like me, you don't like to pay full price for anything, and I certainly don't stop with meats. So one thing that I've learned that helps me a lot with my chicken costs is when I go to the store and I need to buy chicken, I usually buy whatever is the least expensive. In this case, this week, it was some bone-in split chicken breasts. So you can see that they have the skin on and that they still have the bone on the back, which we'll take a look at. But they're in nice big packs, and they were 99 cents a pound, which is a great price for chicken breasts. So what we'll do is we're going to take these chicken breasts, and I'm going to show you how we can use almost every single piece of this and really maximize that 99 cents a pound. So let's get started. Okay, so we've gotten set up here, and as you see, I've got my chicken laid out here. I've already opened this particular package. I have a good cutting board, and I have two different knives. These are just regular steak knives. You really don't have to have a lot of specialty equipment in the kitchen in order to be able to do good cooking. So this came with my steak set. This is just a fillet knife, and that will help me get in some of those harder to get to spots. And this is just a plain steak knife, and that's just if I need some raw cutting power. Now I want to keep my knives small because they're easier to handle, less risk of cutting yourself that way. As you see, I have a bowl here. This is going to be where I'm going to collect the bones from these pieces of chicken, because you'll find out later we can use these bones to make chicken stock and save having to spend $1 or $2 for a box of chicken stock whenever you need it next. It freezes great. So we'll look at that in a bit. And then I have a dish here where I'm going to put my cut up chicken pieces, and I have a trash can nearby just to put the skin and the pieces that we're not going to use. But you'll see there's very little waste here. So I want to point out a few things. You can see on the back of the chicken here that these are the ribs. These are the bones that are going to come off. We're going to use these to make the stock. But there's so much meat on these. And right here, you can see how it kind of separates a little bit. That's where you're going to find your really expensive chicken cutlet. Those are the little thin strips that you buy at the store for, $2 to $3 per pound. They're very, very tender, they're very delicious, and they work really well for making things where you just want a quick chicken prep time. But they do cost a lot, so you're going to save a lot of money by doing them yourself. So let's get started, and I will show you. Now, the first thing that you're going to want to do is to take off the skin. It's really easy. You'll find that it might be stuck a little bit to the chicken surface, so then you'll just grab a knife and just gently ease some of that away from there. And then the next thing that you're going to do is flip it over. You're going to start cutting right about here. See where this divide is? And you'll be able to cut directly through here and separate it from the bone of the chicken. And you'll have one very large breast, which you can separate into two, and I'll show you after I do this. And then you'll have your chicken cutlet, which is right here, and then you can just set that aside separately. So I'll do that, and I'll be right back. So here these are after I've butchered them. You can see they're still really nice and big. This is just the breast portion. Here's the bone portion that we got rid of, and you can see that there's still some meat on there, but it's not anything that you'd be able to get off in any large piece. So what we're going to do is when we make our stock, all of this meat will detach from the bone, and we can just take it and put it aside for things that require small chicken pieces like casseroles or stir fries. And over here you can see we have our chicken cutlets. They're very small, but you can see why they are so expensive, because out of two very large chicken breasts, we only got that much. But when we continue doing the rest of this 10 pounds of chicken I have, we'll have a decent size amount. So I'll come back and show you what I do to preserve them. Now, in order for me to be able to keep this chicken fresh, I usually put them into quart-sized bags and serving sizes. So for me and my family, it would be just 2 chicken breasts in a quart-sized bag. And as you see, I've taken and put quite a few different quart-sized bags inside of one large freezer bag. That just gives me some extra assurance that this is going to stay nice and fresh without getting freezer burned in my freezer. Now, I told you we were going to make some broth, or stock, really, rather. And it's very easy. Just get yourself a slow cooker if you have one. Any size will do. I've chosen my largest because I had a whole bunch of bones with a lot of meat on it. You can see there's quite a bit of residual meat. And just a little tidbit, stock is actually made from the bones of an animal, and broth is made from the bones and the meat. So we're kind of looking at probably closer to a stock since we have more bones than we do have meat. So the first thing we're going to do, put it into your slow cooker, fill it up with water, just so that you have it just about an inch below the top. Then you're going to take about, just a good glug of vinegar. In this case, I've put in apple cider vinegar. And the purpose of this is that you're going to have it soak out the minerals that are in the bones. It's going to help to extract some of those great nutrients that you really get out of homemade stocks. And then you're going to let this sit for an hour. Don't turn the heat on or anything. After the hour, then you're going to put your slow cooker lid on and put it on for low heat for up to 24 hours. When you're done, then you have your broth, which you can freeze in containers or you can use right away. And then you can just take all that meat that will have fallen off these bones, package it away for future meals. So thank you for coming and seeing how we can save on chicken at the grocery store. Thanks. Hope to see you again.